All right, welcome to the first video for section 11.5. In this one, we're going to be looking at data and actually taking some of that data and doing some things with it. So in this one, we are looking at some information about the number of friends of people using social networking websites. So in this table right here, we have the number of friends for a random sample of 40 teen users of a social networking website. What we want to do is use this data to estimate the mean of the population. So this right here would be a sample because our population is all of the teens using social networking, and this data is from a random sample of 40 teen users of a networking site. So this would be our sample. Now, we've already been using means throughout this chapter. Here, you're going to actually calculate the mean. So if you remember, the mean is another word for average. So what you're going to be doing is taking the average of this table. So here are 40 users, and listed here are the number of friends for those users. Now, if you remember, to get the mean, all we do is we're going to find the mean of this sample. Now, the mean, we use mu to represent the mean. And for the sample mean, we're going to use x with this bar on top of it. So we want to know the population mean, which is mu, and the sample mean is x with the bar on top of it. So to find mean, all you do is you're going to take the sum of all of these values and then divide it by the number of values, which is n. So remember, summation of all of our values divided by the number of values. So here, the sum of all these is 11,966, and you would get that simply by adding up all these 40 values. And then when you divide it by 40, you get the sample mean of 299.15. So the mean for all friend users, in this case, the sample mean is 299.15. So we would say that the mean number of friends for all users of the social networking website is about 299. All we're doing is just rounding this off here. This is really simple. No one should get this wrong because all you're doing is adding up all these numbers and dividing. So the problem I want you to do is you've got another table here. So this is the number of coupons purchased in the past year by a sample of 40 adult users of a restaurant discount service listed in this table. So the population would be all of the population, and this would be 40 adult users. So the population is all adult users of the restaurant discount service, and the sample are these 40 that were taken as a sample. So I want you to do the same thing. For estimating the population mean, you need to find the sample mean. And once again, you're just going to be adding up all these values and dividing by 40, because that's n. And then based on that number, give me an estimation of the population mean. So two things you're giving here, the sample mean and the population mean. If you have any questions, just go back and look at that previous problem. But again, this is really simple. You're just doing some math here, adding some numbers and dividing. Go ahead and type those both into the number box. You should have two values, the sample mean and population mean.